that thing, giving preference to preventing the harm, as opposed to engaging in that thing to get the benefit along with it coming equal harm or greater harm. In that case, it should not be done. Yani if the harm is equal or greater, then the person should not do that action. However, if the benefit is greater, then it is permissible to engage in that which might bring some harm if the benefit is actually greater than the harm. Otherwise, the general principle here is that preventing harm takes precedence, but that is in the condition where the harm and the benefit are equal, or where the harm is greater than the benefit. And what determines harm and benefit? It is the shara or the sharia, the Islamic law, the Quran and the Sunnah, and it is not the intellect or the mind. And also the establishment of clear, decisive proof, yani from the Quran and Sunnah. Yani what determines what is harmful or what is beneficial? It is the clear, decisive proofs from the Quran and the Sunnah. And this is something, the Shaykh says that this is something, it is an extremely important matter which many of the people have overlooked. Wallahu musta'an. This is the end of what we wanted to present. And just quickly to look at the questions with the handout. The first of those questions, it is to discuss the fourth condition of la ilaha illallah and mention the previous shurut briefly. The fourth condition, it is the condition of a sidq, truthfulness, that sidq which nullifies or negates kadhib, lying, and which prevents an-nifaq, hypocrisy. The previous conditions are al-ilm wal-yaqeen wal-ikhlas, yani having knowledge of the meaning of la ilaha illallah, what it confirms and what it negates. Certainty, meaning having complete and perfect knowledge which allows no doubt. And ikhlas, yani sincerity, which nullifies the possibility of shirk. Mention a dalil or evidence from the Quran for this sharh. The Shaykh has mentioned two. The first of them is from Surah Al-Ankabut, the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Alif Lam Mim ahasiba an-nasu an yutraku an yaqulu amanna wa hum la yuftanun wa laqad fatanna alladhina min qablihim fala ya'lamanna Allah alladhina sadaqu wa la ya'lamanna al-kadhibin. And the point in this ayat which is of importance is that Allah would test the people when they say they believe, and He will make known those who are sadiq, truthful, and He will distinguish them from those who are kadhib, lying. The other proof that he mentioned is from Surah Al-Baqarah chapter 2 verses 8, 9 and 10. In the end of that ayat he said that the people, the hypocrites, they would be punished because of their kadhib, because of their lying, yani when they claim to believe. The third question, mention a dalil or evidence from the Sunnah for this shart or this condition, and that is the hadith of Mu'adh, in which the Prophet ﷺ said that no one would testify to this statement of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sidqan min qalbihi, truthfully from his heart, except that Allah would prevent the fire from touching him. Question number 4, discuss the verse, do people think that they will be left alone because they say we believe and would not be tested? And the important thing of this ayat is that people would not be left alone on claiming, just by saying, ay yaqulu amanna wa la yuftanun. Yani nobody would be left alone just by saying on their tongue they believe, except that they will have to be tested to confirm the sincerity or the truthfulness, the sidq of their claim. Number 5, give an example of how the earlier believers were tested. And from amongst them, the Bani Israel, they were tested by many hardships and harms that came from Fir'aun. And the Prophet ﷺ also mentioned those who were killed, the people of the ditch who were thrown in the fire, the people whose bodies were sawed in half, and so on. Discuss the sickness or disease mentioned in the verse, in their hearts is a disease in Surah Al-Baqarah, yani fi qulubihim maradun fazadahum Allahu marada. Yani the meaning of this disease, it is an-nifaq, hypocrisy, or shak, doubting the truth. What is, question number 7, what is meant by al-jaza'u min jins al-amal? It means that the recompense or the reward that one would receive would be similar or like the amal, the action that one engaged in. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, هَلْ جَزَاءَ الْإِحْسَانِ إِلَّا الْإِحْسَانِ. Yani is there any reward for doing good except good? Yani al-jaza min jins al-amal, it means whoever does good, then the reward will be good, it will be like it will be similar to it. And whoever does evil, the reward would be accordingly. Question number 8, mention the sifat or characteristics of the munafiqun mentioned in Surah Al-Nisa. chapter 4, verse 143. The first of them is laziness in their prayer, al-kasal fi salat. The second of them is ar-riya, ostentation, yani doing the prayer or whatever they do of worship just to be seen by men. The third of them is their remembrance of Allah is very little, qalil dhikrillah. And the fourth of them is that they go back and forth between the believers and disbelievers, neither being from this party nor that party. And these are the sifat that a true believer should be careful of and avoid at all costs. Number 9, what can be derived from the words, there's none who testifies truthfully from his heart? As Al-Hafiz ibn Hajar al-Asqalani said, these words, صِدْقًا مِنْ قَلْبِهِ, it is to indicate that this shahada is only acceptable from the person who says it truthfully. And this excludes those who lie when they say it, meaning the munafiqun. And the last question mentioned 2 benefits that derive from the hadith of Mu'adh bin Jabal radiallahu anhu. The first of them is takhsis al-ilm, yani that the teacher might give some knowledge, especially to some of the students, to the exclusion of others, yani for the sake of protecting those who he thinks might not understand. It is not to give preference to some over others without any reason, but it is with a reason. Because if the teacher fears that some will not understand the issue, then he should exclude those who will not understand, because people should be taught in accordance with that which they can understand. And the second of them is the principle of giving preference to preventing harm over achieving that which is beneficial. Preventing harm takes precedence. درع المفاسد مقدم على جلب المصالح. That preventing harmful matters has precedence, should be given preference over seeking or achieving beneficial things when there's a conflict between them. And as long as the harm is equal to the benefit, one should avoid engaging in that thing. While if the harm is less than the benefit is greater, then there's no harm in engaging it. Wallahu alam. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. If there are any questions or comments or corrections, we can take a few questions. If the sisters have any questions, please ask.